Hi to all of you. I think it's more easy when I don't have my phone or whatever. I just have to take a look at the little circle. Anyway, I keep quiet, but nothing wrong with the silence, right? I just want to mention that sometimes we feel pretty uncomfortable with silence, being in silence, or when you're by yourself. You feel already this loneliness, and then now it's quiet. There's nobody to talk to with. But at the same times, I believe deeply because myself, back in the days, I couldn't, first of all, stay by myself. It was really, really, really hard to be by myself. I don't know why, and it's a past, so I'm not going to talk too much about the why, but majority of the time it might be abandoned syndrome, if you understand my bad English, my bad accent. Rejection, abandoned. And that's probably why we don't like being into the silence. But at the same times, in my experience, and I believe I'm not the only one to say that, when we are, it is when we are into the complete silence that we can eventually reconnect with our inner self, this inner divine that we are, that we forget. We forget because we're just trapped by the daily life, going to work, taking care of the kids, going to the doctor, going to the gym, going to the grocery store, and cooking meal for kids and doing laundry and all this type of life that we have to be into, right? It's functional life maybe, but we're too busy into that. Our entire being, mind, body, heart, digestive system, whatever, feet in the ground, all our entire being is devoted to our functional life, which we're not used to being into silence. Because, think about for a second. Work, no silence. Grocery store, no silence. Gym, certainly not silence. If you don't decide by yourself to be into silence, maybe when we go to the doctor in a waiting room, maybe it's a silence. And I'm not even sure, because as far as I see here in the US, you have the TV in a waiting room, so you're not into silence. What you're doing is you put your headset, if you're like me, you put your headset and your own music eventually to cut, so which means, no, you're not into silence. So we have to provoke the silence. But at the same time, we are uncomfortable with this silence. So how can we provoke something that we are uncomfortable with? That's a good question. And at the same time, as I was saying just before, I believe deeply that when you are into silence, that you can open this creative intelligence, that you can open this path between the divine, God, universe, whatever name you put in that, the source, and to you. So between the source and yourself. That's how I call creative intelligence. I think Deepak Chopra taught me that, the creative intelligence. It means we don't know where that's coming from, but you have intuitions, or you have a thought, magical thought, like, oh my God, wow, how I didn't think about that before, but that's a great idea. If I do this and this and that. Anyway, what is the subject? And I hope you keep following me right now. But my point is this intuition, this wonderful idea that you have sometimes you can even save your life or your bank account or whatever the subject is. It's coming from somewhere. We don't, really know where and how, but it is important. I don't think it's important. It's like electricity. Half of population doesn't know how electricities work, but one thing's for sure, it gives us light. So we don't think how the electricity works. No, we just receive electricity, right? So this is the same principle for your intuition. Don't try too hard to know where or how it works, or if it's a divine God message, or if it's hard, if it's coming from the heart, from your gut, decision or thought appears like this, like a fraction of a second, it is your intuition. And you don't need to think too much, because after your mind, your logical and functional brain is going to take the control to try to understand where that message comes from. And if it's you creating with this your imagination or that, it doesn't matter. We don't want to know. But again, into my experience, and I'm not the only one to say that, intuition works, definitely, right? And majority of the thought like this, or intuition, whatever you call that, magical thought, appears during silence. So if you take a moment, what helps me a lot, it's going into nature. That's pretty much how I've learned how to be into silence. But back in the day, I didn't know that I was learning how to be into silence. Okay? I didn't look for being into silence, but I realized that it was really, really big benefits. So not for an hour, not for all the entire day, because you have also retreat now who does silence. Actually, the Vipassana meditation, it's the key of that. The silence, total silence, and it's really strong and powerful, because you go deep into yourself. For sure, you have to fight this mental who's trying to come back up to the surface. So we're not here to talk about that, the deep level. We're just here to talk about the first step, the first baby step on how to go into silence. So for myself, back in the days, I was divorced. I was completely broken. Not even though that was true, but my ego was completely broken. I didn't know who I was. My personality was... But anyway, and my kids, they were like teenage, young adults, starting to go out of the nest, starting to go out of the house. And I had this moment many times, like, I'm by myself now. What I'm gonna do today? I didn't know what to do with myself. And just at this moment, it's like my kids felt it. I don't know. We decided to get a dog. We had a dog in the past years. And after 2 years without dogs, we were like, maybe. So 3 of us, we decided to adopt from the shelter a dog, Jackson. That was the best dog in the world. I miss my dog. He passed actually 2 years ago now. Oh my gosh, the time goes fast. But anyway. And here I am by myself, my kids out of the house because they go to friends, boyfriends, whatever. And what I'm gonna do now? So I took my dog and I went for a walk by myself. And I think it's starting by that, being by myself around natures, which is a big help. No matter what nature is, if you can find a park, trees, oceans, river, big giant countryside, whatever nature is around you, go into nature and spend this, even if it's 5 minutes, with yourself. Starting like this for me was 15 minutes, having a walk. And then 15 minutes I extend. One day I realized that it was like an hour. And then sometimes it could be like a big part of my afternoon, Sunday afternoon especially. Nothing to do. I didn't want to see those people. I get tired of, something was actually into change. So I call that natural selection. Life put you with these people or not. You don't want to see those people anymore. You don't have the same affinities, the same link, the same inspiration, whatever. So you rather be by yourself. But being by yourself means also being into silence. Except if you go to the bar, which I'm not a big fan of that. So going into nature, yeah, taking my dog and going into nature, and sometimes I just take a seat, took a seat with a tree, my back on a big trunk, and I was just taking a look around, observing the insects, observing the birds, observing the color of the leaves. I was surrounded by vineyard, wine in the south of France, and I was taking a look at that. And eventually, if it was a season, I grab a little grapes and eating. And I will show you, I have a short video. My dog does exactly the same. It's very cute. But anyway, I think it was necessarily, I think it was not even an option. Life put me into this silence that I wanted or not. Now I'm into silence. But at the same time, that's how you have those wonderful thoughts, wonderful intuition, and also you feel your heart. You are aware about yourself. You're aware about your physical body, and you are aware of the nature around you, surrounding you. When you pass the bridge of this uncomfortable position, make you very uncomfortable because it's new. It's not your comfort zone, of course, because you usually around noise, around people, around music, around whatever. Take the silence out of you. When you pass this uncomfortable time, it brings also a sense of peace by being into silence. Believe it or not. I mean, I will certainly not talk like this 15 or 20 years ago. Definitely not. I couldn't stay by myself. And I was very uncomfortable with the silence. So, and now, after that years, I realize how it's so important to be into silence. So, if you can, including this little step, baby step, into your daily routine, to find this 5 minutes a day that you are quiet by yourself. The only noise that you should hear is the birds or the insect around you. That's it. And believe me, you're gonna have a wonderful experience after this uncomfortable feeling, because you're gonna feel basically very uncomfortable with that. But I really encourage you to at least try, give a try. We talk about 21 days until the brain, that the brain needs 21 days repetition of things to, kind of program the new habits. So if you can try your 5 minutes a day for 21 days, silence, 5 minutes a day, and then you will let me know. You will let me know, but I bet you're going to find some magical things that you don't even think about it, about yourself, about your life, about a lot of things, probably your future as well, another point of view. You know what I mean? So, silence might feel very uncomfortable, but it's also a very, very big help to reconnect it with yourself, with your heart, and listen this creative intelligence who's coming through your probably crown, and you will let me know. Now I'm gonna go doing my silence, and then it also helps for meditation as well. Not guided meditation, but meditation. Baby step. It's 5 minutes into the silence, 21 days, and then you will see after how you feel. If you want to extend to 10 minutes, or if you're able to just listen, whatever message comes to you. All right, it's Sunday afternoon, and I am gonna go on my practice. Daily, Sunday, not daily, practice. Whatever is gonna come out of my creativity today. And it's also full moon. So put your intention clean, you cleanse your energy, follow all the ritual that you can, but full moon is very amazing to start an, you know, closing on a circle and then go into life with confidence. You have a great day, and I will see you next time.